this is
some mild duress here over on the left-hand side of the map, but should still be a-okay. And Aggro, what about you? Do you like the Discordia here? Poseidon, Agni, Band of
it depends,
you
TJ.
obviously picked. It looked like to me they were kind of trying to box Tings into this pick.
Yeah, I think that Ting.
My team has a really strong mental. Like
personally, I mean,
everyone on this team is good at taking criticism and
most recent buff has
learning from
to
our mistakes and what we should be doing.
Persephone tier of really good. I think that she's in the top tier of mages now. You love the.
I messed up this first one, I think.
And against King Arthur.
Right here, I should never knock up. I don't think we get the body block, but I like right when I cast my knockup, I asked if we could body block. I think if Jake horrific'd right after he hammered, we get the kill. Or if I don't knock up, we get the kill.
Blood already.
But if he hammers and horrifics, I think we get the kill. I'm not sure.
In recent weeks, but there will not be a second. Aurora makes it out of there. Even pokes his head back in. I love that.
What if he could have full committed? Really, I don't think Aurora. I mean, he could blink hog, but
despite that early aggression, rejoining with Cyclone Spin over here in left.
So this start that Renegades are doing, it's requiring Venenu to pick up Hand of the Gods early on. He's buying hog, and that's why you kind of see him prioritize the tiny trinket.
Said he might have been able to tank tower there and kill him.
Pots.
He might have been able to for sure.
Fall too far behind and sustain because of the natural lifesteal that it provides, and you get the MP5 for Mage's Blessing. So that makes sense to me.
No, I don't think so.
More aggression from Renegades, just like in Game 1 around the red buff. And here's Lasbra again, showing some presence.
Jake's just hopping around.
Strip away this farm. So you're right, Aggro, to talk about how this is clearly the game plan, right? Is to constantly have this pressure on the left-hand side. And this time, SOT, if he is going to be truly left on solo island, has a better boxing tool in that King Arthur up against the Cuchulainn of Benji. So do you like this iteration of the pressure out the long lane strat here from Renegades?
I like it more, but for me, the biggest problem is this Discordia, because now you're giving Benji, most likely Benji, Discordia passive, and that's going to let Solo Patrol get poked, and when Solo Patrol gets poked, that makes Adapting's job a lot easier on this side of the map to help get pressure and force him out.
Yeah, I fully support Jake's jumping habit.
Solo has to use his teleport in order to get to lane with this strat, whereas you don't have to normally.
I mean, jumping just shows confidence. He's an alpha male jumping around.
Super aggressive in this lane matchup with that Discordia passive.
So it's tilted that bubble hit me.
His teleport is going to be up when you know SOT's is not.
I like the hammer into the knockup combination here on the left-hand side. And speaking of Fafnir and these hammers,
yeah,
I
Jake's
feel like
sick.
Fafnir's kind of fallen out to the wayside, especially if you end up falling a bit behind in the game that you're in. Fafnir can really struggle, because then his ultimate really just turns into everyone knows where I'm going to be in a few seconds.
A lot of people underrate Jake's sword because he goes 0-18 in ranked games.
Fafnir's current strength.
I do think it was
SPL
a
game. How much
Renegades,
thought it was in a fixed man's? But only spent about 2 hours in fixed
awesome
man's. So
God that he's very, very comfortable on, and it brings some decent CC,
yeah, Jake.
Great objective
Jake just
pressure,
carries.
all those same things. I don't know that this.
I have
exactly
a really
big
big misplay in lane, in laning phase here, or not right here. It's a little later.
Than something like
also, this is so sick.
Ruins Fafnir. It did what
so
it was,
sick by solo and last.
Slugging along the highway, going, puttering down like an old car. Now, I mean,
like this is. The combo of them two together right there,
trying to steal away the blue buff,
and then they just hard reset on Benji's transformation. Like, oh, dude, solo. This play is so sick.
That gets taken away first.
Look at this. He gets the worst blessing procs and dashes out.
Successful defense of the buff, and Benji
dude,
quite
like
punish SOT on the back side of it, and that felt a bit stubborn.
Like that was, they didn't even talk about on the cast. That is so,
now, I mean,
so sick. Like the one-shot adapting off of the hammer, they reset on the transformation.
That gets taken away
so
first.
Hits him, dashes away. Like
Lasbra, and
it's so clean. It's so good. Like most players would have died there, especially if they're contesting into 2 people. I just hold DPS there because he just casting spells really well.
What did you see there, Aggro?
That was so good.
A bit surprising, but Solo Patrol was so low at the time. I understand why they felt like they could get away with that, but Lasbra just came.
I missed my This is also a misplay by me. I think. I'm pretty sure Jake doesn't say anything here. But once he horrifics, I'm like, wait, I should be there.
Kill we see on the right
and I beads the stun. I'm just trying to hit He the whole time. And both of us beads. I'm pretty sure we could have killed here.
But Solar Troll
First is a bad play by Cyclone.
At the time, I understand
900%
why
sure.
they felt like they
I also waste my knockup on the wave. I was trying to hit him and the wave. I thought he was gonna step into me. But once he jumps, I should just be in there, I think.
For that kill we see on the right hand.
Because they have blink on Umoja, they don't have shell. I'm pretty sure this is a kill. But also we don't have deep vision anywhere. I don't think I had seen Thor. Wait, actually
Solar Troll was so low at the time. I understand why.
Pele or Lazarus sees Thor right here, I think. But I'm not paying attention to that, honestly. I don't think I hear that or see that. So I play it kind of safe, but then Jake all-ins with horrific, so then I changed my mindset to I need to be there with him. Oh, Vin is, also right here, Vin is spam calling the Thor's rotating. I'm telling Jake to get out.
Spin does get bullied out of his beads. Awesome Jake is remaining aggressive, looking for the underhand tactics, but good work from Aurora. And now it's Cyclone Spin going aggressive because Adapting's on the way.
I'm trying to get the knockup on Cyclone to peel, but I don't think it matters anyways.
Now Adapting walks in, should be able to clean up this kill with the spin, but Cyclone Spin still gets credit, I suppose, as he earned.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's fair to say.
That was a bit of a troll
just an
jump.
odd decision there by Jake to
also, it's just really sick by both of them to just like that's such a good
I did
play.
not like that call by him at all. The rest of that fight I thought was really well executed by him, and he hasn't made too many of those mistakes where I just gotta picture myself as one of Jake's
that was play of the day
in a ranked game where you're like, what is this guy doing? He's just hard hitting into my lane. I thought we'd see way more of those moments.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate.
That is one of the first, I would say.
I think Jake afterwards just like, oh yeah, I didn't hear it.
Tower week 1 also was kind of reminiscent of that. But that was a little bit old Jake rearing his head right there.
I think that
that's a little unfortunate. I'm pretty sure if I play that aggressively to begin with, I was scared of getting triple bounce though. I don't know if he had the angle to get the triple bounce on me, but I mean they could combo me pretty easily. So I think my play when Cyclone jumped is still fine, but me and Jake were on the same page there. Unfortunately.
To get this set, and I wonder if he was just trying to make a bit of a hero play. Maybe
so I go Divas, he rushes boots. So my whole objective obviously is just get to the early game.
But largely. I think that you're right to say that's an aberration for our awesome Jake now.
Jake's Metallic, no fear, yeah.
Just not exactly what you needed either.
Jake is an alpha.
If you want to get pressure over
here,
the
true
last thing
gamer.
You want to do is hand Cyclone Spin kills in this lane.
Try to make him miss a little bit of minions here. Also try to get last hits obviously for Divas.
Not necessarily kills, but you want to make him earn each creep that he gets on that left-hand side.
Thought there might be a gank over here, but Benji still had the dash, able to reposition and get away from any further aggression. In fact, he might be the one stopping Lazarus.
Dude, look at
back,
that.
And
oh my
indeed,
god,
he is
bro.
able to. Lazarus
yeah!
And it comes to that indeed. Has to use volcanic.
This is where I misplay.
Adapting is there in right as well, so he's going to be going to
the
sky.
The cameraman shows it.
Ultimate can't quite find the dunk.
Okay, so I could have all in for Aurora, but I could have also traded 1-for-1 with Aurora. Which doesn't sound that fun to me. But basically, Jake destroys Aurora here. And right here, we full stun combo, and I don't ult off of it. Like right here, he cast a 3. I cast a 3 before then. And I ulted over Cyclone. I was thinking about it. I mean, you watched me, like I was thinking about it. Oh, he has Blink ready. Okay, yeah, if I dive tower, I'm dead here. Unless I predict the blink, he'll probably blink. I assume he would blink behind tower, so I'd have to fly behind tower without any buttons up. Which probably ends up with me dying and trading my life for Aurora. Even if I do get the kill, but I don't have any buttons, I don't think. I guess I might too.
Awesome Jake jumps in, takes a shot, but can't get.
But yeah, if I ulted right off of Jake's stun combo, he literally like. I think I did 400 or 500 damage to the emoji, and the rest of that damage was Jake.
A lot of low health bars, but no fireworks ultimately happened. couple Rob.
Hey, we'll tell why Jake last boost more here. He's an alpha male. That's all you need to know.
Really good disengage by Cyclones.
On Jake's jumping, support it.
He drops the ultimate, and that
you and Jess will talk and play really? No, not really.
Awesome Jake and BaRRaCCuDDa we're putting onto him. Adapting.
Yeah, Jake popped off. Jake pops off every game.
Just taking a guess.
Just in different ways. Sometimes he pops off for our team, sometimes he pops off for the enemy team.
Was just a little bit off the mark.
No, for real, Jake is super consistent in my opinion in SPL. In scrims and ranked, it kind of goes into mode sometimes, but in ranked or in SPL, he's really good. Like his comms in this set were really good.
Benji's just had a great set.
I think.
Could you have picked him?
Oh, I had really good comms as well this set.
Benji on the Smite game stream.
There's podcast tomorrow at 8.
And then he obviously does, end up showing up for you right when you need him to.
I think, yeah, we DC'd here as well.
We'll get plenty more chances, I'm sure, to tune into the Benji show today, so we'll give him some time to start working on that. A mild grouping in mid, Aurora showing some.
Dude, ADC sucks. Look at me in Cyclone. Will they bottom farm on the team, bro?
Ganks or anything
Look at this.
like that happen.
Nonsense.
Last game we said we felt like they really needed the anti-heal up against Aurora on the Emoja and then Benji on the King Arthur. Do you think there's still that extra pressure on? I mean, they don't even have the Odin this time.
Yeah, I don't really talk to anyone from Cog Prime anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need anti-heal against Emoja. I think that it was sorely lacking for Renegades last game. I think it was pretty noticeable that as soon as Radiance grouped up as 5, even before they had the 20k gold lead, that there were lots of fights close, but not really that close because of the amount of healing that Radiance had on their side. Cullen isn't King Arthur. He's not going to 1v3 you quite as easily whenever he has Glad Shield, but he could still do it just fine. It's still in the cards for him. I would love to see this heavy mace from Lasma turn into a Brawlers. I think you need it.
Well,
Oracles are pretty important at this stage of the game, in my opinion. So I'd say we commit pretty heavily to those. Well, the 3-man grouping.
It will be where Lasma likes to go with that next item. We might even get a chance to find out right now as he is starting his back. You heard Hindu talk about.
I thought it was going to bounce off the wall, so I backed up there. And then I don't even like. I think he like missed the wall or something.
A bit more crit
I gotta tank that.
Game one. I feel
it's kind of bad by me.
Kind of tilt away from that. When are our hunters deciding?
For Camelot, for Avalon.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to go it a lot more consistently as adapting, going for solo or troll on this right-hand side.
Look at King Arthur, yeah!
SOT in a pretty good position.
Yeah!
Back up.
Settling in okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you both,
dead?
Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome to Lakeview, a digital afterlife environment. Enjoy.
The ads know us better than we know ourselves.
10 signs you're invading someone's personal space.
Sorry, bro.
Nice.
I understand you were in a bad place yesterday. It's only weird if you make it weird.
Is that Morgan Freeman?
Upcoming. That's gonna force.
I hate when ads show up, dude.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, that's just like
from minute 1
so unlatched.
Comes flying in to get the kill on
they just played
Benji,
better.
But that was a
straight up than adapting and Benji right there.
On to solo or troll, but as soon as they didn't get it off that initial dunk, they started trying to run, and I gotta think that was Radiance with.
They pretty much have to kill
Easy.
Pretty sure they kill adapting there.
For solo or troll right there, and that's just
good
huge damage coming through. And adapting's build is really more conducive to farming early than fighting early. Those Talaria
Dude, look at Laz giving Vin full mid pressure. Tanks the disco to the face.
He definitely gets that kill if he has heavy base.
Jake's such an alpha.
Game, but he just hadn't backed in quite some time, I imagine. I don't think Lasber has such a lead now that he would be up a full item nearly at this point. Yeah, he's got 2k gold in hand. The fact that adapting delays his back so long is the reason why that gank doesn't go so well.
Renegades with a great rotation over there to the solo side.
Yeah, at this point of the game, I'm really happy.
Game 1, doesn't it? It's
with
Renegades with pressure,
50 Devo stacks into a He with 3 stacks.
1 kill that maybe they didn't necessarily have to, and then they're all rotating well to the right. A Cyclone Spin is in trouble here in left. He should certainly fall, and he absolutely will. They even get the ultimate.
Yeah, so basically,
maybe they didn't necessarily
I changed my play here
well to
guarantee get the ult off because previously I didn't ult.
Cyclone Spin is in trouble here in left.
Yeah,
He should
so I was waiting for Cyclone to react to that, but he just doesn't beat.
But that is huge. They were able to.
I mean, honestly,
as Aurora was elsewhere on the map,
that's kind of a hard beads.
Certainly wasn't there to help.
To beads.
Man, this has not been Cyclone's day. Normally, something that I think Cyclone does better than almost anybody.
That's a really hard beads, honestly.
His relic usage today has not been good. He had a bad Aegis in game 1. Right there, he's saving.
That's a really hard beads. I don't know if I would be.
He eats that full CC chain.
I mean, he has the beads. He has to react to the cast of my 1. I don't think beads in the Faf hammer is correct.
If you're,
maybe he just doesn't respect Jake.
If you're hammered into Jingwei knockups, you're dead. You're dead in that spot. Even if you jump away.
Will they drop ult there? I don't think it matters.
You're gonna die. I just don't understand his decision to hold the beads right there. And that's not been just his problem. It's been a lot of carry players. In particular, have had a lot of trouble with their relic usage so far this year. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe the buttons at home are sticking more than they do in the studio. Who knows?
Well, they got a nice kill just a moment ago.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Them forcing this 2v2 is so bad, bro.
I don't know what it is.
Like, man. I'm at this point, what, I have 61 Diva stack, Cyclone has 4, Cyclone doesn't have an ult, I don't have an ult. But it's basically a support show
the
here.
At home are sticking more than
he leads with ult here. He knows I don't have ult unless Cyclone didn't say.
Who knows?
So then, like, I just need to play to live there. I knock up Aurora and then dash through. Which is like a really good play by me.
Just
and
a
then
moment ago on to Lasbra.
Pelt Aurora with auto attacks and then he dies.
But what an
and then once Thor walls, I don't care about the Cyclone kill anymore. So I turn around and go on adapting.
Down to size, adapting, gonna walk into the wood chipper.
Yeah, we get Cyclone beads there. I beads as well. And then I think I don't know if Jake
I think up against Sanguine a couple weeks ago.
That's just me and Jake just playing better than them.
Been
relegated to the sidelines, but BaRRaCCuDDa is here and ready to play when you give him a moment.
Man, just he and Jake are working really well together right now.
Yeah.
Jake had a 6 stun right there to keep
I
Aurora
thought
away.
I could get the tier 1 tower here, but once Vin calls and pings.
Man, that was
right here. We kind of overstay here a little bit, but I guess adapting doesn't have ult anyways. But once he pings, I'm like, I can poke this a little bit more, and then I'm like, okay, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be here.
Either out of danger entirely or further away from danger and cause Renegades.
Do the customer smite? Sometimes really good, sometimes really bad.
This is the Renegades formula.
It's just like, it's hard for them to know exactly what we're thinking, and their job is to describe to you guys what we're thinking and our thought processes and why we're doing certain things. So I mean, as a pro player, I love and I hate them. Like sometimes they'll just say things that are completely wrong. But also that is literally their job, is to just talk about Smite and talk about the game and talk about why we're doing things, or why we're doing things good or why we're doing things bad. And like I think most pro players like think the same thing about the casters, where like sometimes they say things that are really smart and like they are on the same page as us, and sometimes they say things that are completely wrong. And I think that goes for pretty much every esport, where the casters can't read our minds. It's impossible for them to know exactly what we're thinking in any given situation, and it's just hard. Like being a caster is insanely hard, and I think it kind of goes for like every esport, where sometimes the casting is really good and completely on target, and sometimes it's just not. But I mean, it's just like, I don't think the casters in the Smite are bad. I think they're really good at casting and talking about Smite, but sometimes the stuff they say is wrong. But again, that's just for every esport.
By the way, this exactly right here.
I love saying disaster things, so much Slupski for gifted another sub. Thank you, man.
I think that's clearly the way they want to play based on their picks and bans. Lasbra's all over the map. He's gotten a bunch of kills early on. You've heard a bunch of people say how high up he is on the kill department for this team and across the SPL. He's one of the highest.
Yeah, so I think it's them as like people or anything. It's just like sometimes
is really having a much better game this time on the King Arthur. He's got 2 assists.
Yeah, that was pretty troll. That was a really bad comment by Mifflin. Like, I wasn't even aggressive at launch tournament. I think he was just trying to like fill space or whatever. But it's fine. It's fine.
Want to play. They don't want to be losing pressure.
I'm back. Moose Lord, thanks for the 30 month
resub. They don't want to fall behind. This is not a team that has really shown me that they've got a really great answer to being behind. They haven't really made a great comeback or two yet. They've really just coasted through early.
Also, I make the change from last game to this game because of Benji's build. I see him going more fizzy, so I just go XE.
Staying even, and then they hit the Jets.
I think I go XE into Rage here.
They win the game.
I just don't want a situation again. Like, I can play the team fights either way, obviously, but I don't want a situation again where I can't kill their front line. Because not killing front line
feels
feels
like a great
really
spot
bad.
for Radiance to be in right now.
It's not, and really the problem is BaRRaCCuDDa first and foremost, man. He's at a great point in this game now. Has the Bowers Gauntlet finished,
dude, like, we're just
and
playing the map
is
so much
BaRRaCCuDDa
better this game. Like,
first and foremost, man.
What we're doing around the map is just
here
so
now.
much better, bro. Like,
on the balance blade, there's more action in right.
The plays that we're making are just simply better this game.
Gobbles him up a little bit of help from SOT, so some revenge.
Like, Jake is just
on the short side of the map. They'll get the
walking around the map playing really well.
There is no rotation from Radiance coming. I said the problem is going to be BaRRa, but hey, a level 14 King Arthur, we already saw what that could do last game.
Yeah,
I mean, Jake has Sov, and now he's got Thieves now, so he spiked really hard with Thobs. Sov, and then he just stacks Thieves, so, I mean, we're just chilling right now.
Adapting has
I have Devo's finished, and then Cyclone is tier 2, XE.
He puts the foot on the throat faster than just about anybody. But when a Radiance starts to fall behind,
where's the anti-heal? I don't know, man.
I think
I don't know, Vin.
loses its aggressiveness.
Do you know where Divine Ruin is?
And Renegades are not letting up on that pressure. Like
where's the anti-heal? I don't understand. How are we 5,000 gold up without anti-heal?
One, like what was kind of the chapter 2 was what I felt like.
Dude, Lasper sucks at getting those shrines. Look at that, 75% shrine efficiency.
Getting picked by that
That's embarrassing.
That just definitely didn't need to happen. Well, now that he hasn't had his momentum slowed down, he's played a lot better here in this game. Good work from adapting, getting away from that pressure, though it did cost him the beads as Renegades.
Dude, how do we have a lead into BaRRaCCuDDa?
All of these
kills he even has
that have happened recently, and all the good
stuff,
save for that
do we have a lead
on that right-hand
into
side
healers?
The boys come in to help solo or troll. It's been around Jake in this Fafnir. I mean, he has just been everywhere. He goes right.
I mean, Jake's just influencing the map. Honestly, like all of us have just made plays.
You get BaRRaCCuDDa over here lead,
especially Vin, like 001 scoreline, and he's top net worth. Like, oh my god, Vin.
I mean, Jake has been everywhere so far.
Vin's influence around the mid lane farm is just massive.
And a Fafnir with a lead is hard to deal with, man, because he starts to hit really hard.
Yeah, Jake's got 24 Thief stacks at this point.
Yep, when he's in Draconic Corruption and breathing on you, it feels like a lot of damage. And, you know, they banned away the Poseidon in the P's and B's phase here as well. They really were trying to make sure that even if Awesome Jake maybe weren't ahead, that he wouldn't be getting so easily blown up by Radiance here with this draft. But that's exactly to your point. I mean, when Fafnir's
what happens here.
13, he's a little bit ahead. When he's right there with everyone else, even if you know where he's landing, he can be a bit hard to kill. So I think that Awesome Jake is in a good position here to have one of those games that we talked about earlier where Awesome Jake shows that he's not that same Awesome Jake you might know from Ranked, as Primal Fury
I'm going to try to pull them forward a little bit, then I try to heal on
Radiance
gold.
are nearby, so they certainly can answer. Solo laners won't be a part of this.
I could have full committed to that with my one, but sometimes you Jingwei one gold, and then you feel bad about it because then you just get engaged on your one because you're trying to DPS gold down.
No frenzy there for Jake means that Gold Fury is not quite
Divine Ruin Gamer versus
not
Divine
I think Renegades would have liked. Solar Troll was on the way over, but so was Benji. I do think Renegades need to group up though and start forcing fights, but just like last game, you're asking a team that has a healer in Yamoja to group up, and Renegades don't have any itemization against it.
Where's their anti-heal?
The lead is big enough that they can fight through that at this point. This should
what
still
are
be
you
a very
guys
favorite
doing?
Fight for them. But that does concern me.
Dude, maybe I should just get brawlers on
the ability
Jing.
for Radiance to just use this Yamoja.
I'll get brawlers, I'll blink and ult them, bro.
Well, still on the left side of the map this time is SOT, so I think that they're pretty serious about the Primal Fury here aggro. They are resetting it a bit.
Dude, who put that sentry ward down?
In a bit more. Aurora's in trouble top side.
Someone's bad.
Allows them to reposition, but the Primal Fury
we just gotta commit to this because we're starting to move in. We zoned so well here.
Renegades able to grab the Primal Fury. That's the ultimate from Lasbra.
Pretty unfortunate. Oh yeah.
He doesn't find much with it except the pop, and adapting is dead early, and he's dead off, and Lasbra gets the credit.
Yeah, he tries to hammer before he uses actives. So he can't really Aegis, and then he can't like throw his hammer and then Aegis because then he can't teleport to it.
By Radiance, I think, to go in.
And we just had a really good zone. Like
after the fact.
We had a really good
Things are
zone.
going
Me and
in
Vin had
while
good
Renegades
DPS on
have
gold, so we
juggled
just burned it.
Fury aggro and damage coming from it, and how much damage are we using to secure it? They kind of let Renegades go through the hardest part of the engagement.
Yeah, I think Adapting thought they were going to take the fight after the objective, which is a fair thought process, I guess. But they just really can't. Like, I'm not sure. Why did it even go so bad for them?
Here aggro. They are resetting it a bit.
So I'm taking a bit of damage. Vin calls he can tank it, so I knock on myself and reset to Vin. And like, look how deep our zone is.
Is still low.
Like, Lazarus gets put to half HP. Oh, he ults away from the Thor. That's fair. And then they Thor, Disco, Yamoja, and Tuyo here.
Able to grab the primal.
Yeah, I guess they call for the re-engage and they try to kill Laz, which is fine. But then Vin and me just one-shot Adapting.
Adapting is dead early, and he's
I don't know if I crit him or not,
but
he just gets one tap.
Have to disengage.
I don't think, yeah, Benji was never even a part. Wait, where was Benji at?
Except low.
Okay, Benji's kind of actually.
See if they could bait Radiance in a bit more. Aurora's in
I
trouble.
don't know if we saw him up there. Did we see him up there?
On the left side of the map this time is SOT, so I think that they're pretty serious.
Yeah, I guess he's dancing around. There's got to be a wave there.
Resetting it a bit, trying to see if they could.
So yeah, we knew Benji wasn't there. Pretty easy fight for the boys.
Renegades go through the hardest part of the engagement without any test, and then they give them the easy question right after the fact. Hey, do you want to fight when you've used literal nothing and you're up 5K? Sure. Yeah, we don't have to worry about losing the Fury after.
Oh, once we get TP, we just dip here, I think.
TP from Benji. He will be here to defend the tier 2.
Right there, I could have gone with Vin. Also, I don't know which way to go, but once Solo got poked, I wanted to stay with Solo. But Vin gets gone on, but I don't think it matters.
It was free, but don't want to have this particular.
He transforms and teleports, so pretty good trade for us.
That Radiance took that fight.
Just to force them to respond to us.
I don't think they went about taking that fight. Like, let's say that we're already in the flowchart, we decided to take it. I don't think they took it in a particularly effective way. I mean, Adapting's dunk wasn't excellent, and he basically ended up dying right away.
And it was on. He was looking for Lazarus, who was stunned by Aurora at the time, and he put it a little bit far left. Maybe he thought the Lazarus was going to beads, which I think is a reasonable expectation. But I think that you can probably split.
Yeah, look at Emoja's items at this point in the game. 18 minutes, he doesn't have his third item finished. Yeah, we just burn objectives so easily with Faf.
Pyromancer is taken by Radiance.
If he doesn't, Beebs, and still hits him if he does. Where it stood, it just didn't hit anybody at all. He split the uprights.
I mean, sometimes you just give them away, man. Like, sometimes you're just like,
teams might have been looking for the CC immunity, but he's got to keep right on trucking. Uses the Aegis.
If Vin had Divine.
And Cycle Spin is not rotated at all. He's using this time to grab the tier 1 tower.
Imagine resetting Pyro there.
So this is actually not bad for Radiance. They steal the Pyromancer, and Cyclone Spin gets a little bit of extra farm on left-hand side, but doesn't get
the back off. He tries to get the back off, which is kind of sketch by him.
Come out from BaRRaCCuDDa, so now he's ready to fight.
Okay, if I lowered my ult, he dies.
From Cyclone Spin, avoids the airstrike damage, but he's way too low. Dive Bomb allows him to reposition. He might live from BaRRa, but
yeah, I mean, he always
the
does
gank squad that's on the way.
Lazarus Blink will ensure that they get the kill on the Cyclone right there.
Pretty sure my ult was not ranked up.
From Cyclone, I think he was shopping.
Pretty sure it was like rank 2 or whatever.
Before his back got interrupted.
It's a good work from BaRRaCCuDDa to rotate over and not give up on the play. And still be able to take down Cyclone Spin. Adapting's ultimate's down as well. We saw him dunk down in clear view of Renegades, so they for sure know that that tool's not available either. But this is odd. Radiance want to take this fight. It's a bit of a...
I'm not sure why they forced this fight.
But Lazarus in the back line says it's time to feast. Brings Adapting down, fight low. Tings has been left all alone, and Solar Troll grabs that kill. What about in front of the tier 2 tower?
Really not sure why they forced that fight.
Does allow for the disengage, but they're just going to take the tier 2.
And Lazarus is going to have an easy time chasing down Adapting.
That was so weird.
Adapting does have speed, and Lazarus doesn't.
We just get a free tier 2.
Be a little bit sneaky.
I mean, the only thing we used was like Lazarus Blink and my ult.
Lazarus able to find his third in a row, though. Nearly a nice play by Adapting. Tier 2 tower goes down, and Renegades really have this game by the throat, don't they? I mean, they are up 7K at this point. Experience is about the same. Doesn't feel like that, though, because a lot of members are pretty even. Lazarus has a really big XP lead. I believe that Solar Troll has an XP lead. No, he doesn't. In fact, it's really majority on Lazarus over Adapting right now. 2 levels in support is noteworthy, but not really that backbreaking. It's really only this level deficit for Lasbra and adapting that's really hurting Radiance.
That's why that fight they chose to take the tier 2 was so concerning, as now the Renegades start up this
what happened to
Fire
it. Do we full
Giant.
commit here?
Forget about Act 1 and move on to Act 2 as the Fire
Alright,
Giant
reset.
has been brought down.
Yeah,
by
I mean, like, my front line is just playing this so well. Like, being a backline in this situation is so easy. Like, Jake hits a sick hammer, Solo hits a sickle, like, Lazarus there flanking with a knockup, and then we just kill Benji. Like, it's just so
His rage transformed,
good
but
by us.
you couldn't tell it from looking at him. Lasbra melts him with a little bit of help from
Jake jumps in,
Tycho drops
Aggro's
out
fire.
time to start
My
this
DPS on fire is
dance
crazy with
once
FAF
again.
too.
The tune's a bit different
Oral,
when there's only
not
four
sure,
of you.
I don't remember
Adapting
this.
takes to the sky.
It's kind of a
Looking
weird
for
ult.
The dunk does come in, but they've dropped the fire.
I guess he was trying to go on
Giant.
last
Take the
again.
fight Instead, it's still leashed, but
Really
they
job by
get the
last to
kill
survive.
onto Aurora.
Then I
The
called
Fire
a
Giant
finish
now
fire
really
here.
starting to
'Cause I
favor the
actually
Renegades
full
as
tanked
BaRRaCCuDDa
fire.
brings it down, a 2-0.
Or kept aggro the whole
Take
time
instead,
in this
it's still
fight.
leashed, but they get the kill onto Aurora.
There wasn't
Fire
any like
Giant
pressure on me.
hit.
Benji was dead. We killed Aurora. I don't know if I knew exactly where BMT
Now
was.
really
Maybe
starting
Solo
to
told me, but I mean,
favor the Renegades as BaRRaCCuDDa
my front line just plays that
down
so well.
a
It's
2-0
ridiculous.
and the buff.
And that's just really, really good.
Like perfect,
patience by Renegades.
perfect
They understand
zoning,
that they've got
perfect like,
such a
no,
big
just perfect
itemization
everything.
lead
Really, really
and
good play
XP lead
by
when it
everyone.
comes to the jungle and support, to where they can take this fight as long as they need to and let Radiance march themselves in one by one and take care of them as such. And they get the Fire Giant, they get a couple kills at the exact same time, and there's going to be a tier 2
What was
tower
different about
without
this
any
game?
sort of
Our draft
contest.
and our play.
Don't think it's going to be a Phoenix with both
Wait, that
Lasbra
sounds like a
and Solo
sarcastic
Control on
answer, but it's
left-hand
actually just the
side.
difference.
Instead, it should just be everyone from Renegades rotating over.
We just
grab
made
this
the
tier
correct
1 in
plays
mid,
on the
and then head
map
towards the Oni Fury.
to where the game was just so
Talked
much
about this
easier for
already,
us.
though, but how important is this set for determining the trajectory of both of
Like
them?
we had some individual skill plays, like
Just,
me and
what, a week
Jake.
and a half ago,
Basically
were-
2v3'd them
was
in
my
duo
top
lane.
team in the league.
We
A
killed
lot of
Cyclone,
teams'
and then we
teams, top team
2v3'd
in
them
the league,
after
they
that in
end
duo.
up losing that set. They
So
dropped down.
our
to
duo lane played better.
We're
I
near
mean,
the
I think
bottom
Vin
for a
and
lot of
BMT
teams
kind of had a
just a
farm
couple
fest in
weeks ago, but
mid.
these teams
And
have
Last
both
and SOT
made
just played
some
way better
adjustments,
than
and for Renegades,
adapting
it's
and
on the
Benji
up,
this
but for
game.
Radiance, it might be a bit on the down, as I think this Renegade squad is showing that if you can kind of break up this early game from Radiance a bit and not let them just make it to the late game for free, then they might be a bit more vulnerable than some teams thought.
I think that's a great point, and maybe a little bit of, you know, the honeymoon period for the super team starts to wane a little bit. You know, you're starting to get into the deeper end of the season.
Yeah, like
Now
adapting
it's
can't land on
starting
us
to
and
come
kill
apart
us.
the seams a
He's
little
too far
bit, and
behind.
That's natural. It doesn't mean that even if Radiance are to lose the set, that they're doomed forever or anything like that. That's not what I would ever say. But
Like he basically needs room.
certainly a trend.
And the
isn't
times
it?
he was
That
dunking, he was
they
leading the
get
way with a dunk.
absolutely
So
housed
he's not like
by rival last
getting
week.
room.
And now they're down 11-2 and 12k gold in just 24 minutes to a Renegades team that has looked inconsistent at best.
Could potentially be trouble for them in the future. Another thing of noting schedule-wise is that once this week's over, I think everyone will have played each other at least once, which means we'll be coming around to those second at-bats, right, up against Radiance. So it's a scary time to potentially be looking a bit weak, as Aurora's already taken quite a bit of damage, brought down to
Oh, this
half
was
of
actually a really good play
He's
by
stuck in the
them.
middle of everybody. That's a great
I think we kind of messed up that siege a little bit by letting Solo die.
too far and to set up for that kill. Now they defended the left side Phoenix Knights.
That was the
and
kind of the
pushed
wombo
Renegades back
combo that they
control.
drafted for with the Hui
Yeah, SOT
emoji.
just never got that Excalibur's Wrath off. That's what he really needed in order to
I think if
buy time and
we
get
full
to
committed
that.
there,
With the sun's coming
we didn't really
down
full
and
commit. We didn't really
Duke there.
like we basically half
Turning
committed.
and running doesn't do you a whole lot of good, is King Arthur. I think turning around and trying to find that ult
That was just a
would've
bad siege
better
by us.
served SOT, but
I think we
yeah,
fixed
that-
it for the next time. I think.
To be important.
To have been not
Got back for Titans
unable
here,
to
I'm
get
seeing.
off good
Back for
damage
wards.
onto the enemy
Look at
backline
me,
so far this game.
begging
I think
for
that's
wards.
because of how well Lasbra and SOT and Jake
I
have
shotgun
done
this team. I shotgun a
so
lot
far
this set.
game. But in response to that, Adapting's got to find something on this Thor. Take a look at the player damage charts. He's at the bottom overall, not at the bottom if you don't count the supports. At the bottom, and that just can't happen to have your star jungler be this low on the player damage charts. I mean, the player damage across the board is not.
I think I want to say he
particularly
dies on it on the right
but
side. I
You got to
think.
be a little bit more effective, I think, for Adapting.
I think.
Adapting has been biding his time, looking for his moments this game. Well, I'll tell you, down 12,000 gold, potentially losing here. This is a great moment for him to suddenly start stepping up. The Fire Giant, it looks like,
come out and defend on a neutral site. Even if you let Renegades pull fire,
Yeah, I don't even,
and then you're gonna.
they're contesting because they had so
try
much
and do damage to Phoenix. The AOE control
success on
makes
defense
wall.
last time.
You've got really good wall
I
geometry.
don't remember how we changed our
Thor
siege
to
where it
come
works.
through, where rivers are
But we do
cut off
something.
escape pass. Sunbreaker is solid, though one-time use. So I like Radiance.
Did he die here to the ult combo?
to the right side Phoenix. They'll be threatening the one closest to the FG. They don't get much damage off this initial push, and Radiance aren't really full.
Oh, I think this is where Yamosha ults and I ult out, I think. I'm pretty sure my ult out was incorrect here.
Who's pulled some attention with him there. Adapting, they certainly know that he's
Like
lurking
90%
over the
sure I
wall,
ult
looking
out
at
and
these
it's bad.
things. They're watchful for potential stuns or hammers to come their way as Renegades continue to be slow and steady with their push. But once this minion wave comes in, that might be when they're
it's
ready.
not
So
this
the
one.
Sunbreaker
So
ends up
die here
dropping.
again.
Rivers are
Maybe it's after
catches
this when we change
solo
it.
Or troll again. That's the game plan. When SOT steps forward, drop the wall to cut him off.
And Jake's got to go in now to try and buy some extra space for the team. Venenu's
Yeah, I don't know if I should ult it out here. Oh, this is where we just turn.
He might have been
Yeah, we just turn.
a little
Adapting
bit-
dunks on Vin, but we still have like so much damage to return to him. I think I crit him twice. I hold my next auto attacks to guarantee him. There's shit for the 500 crits. And then they, once they leave their Phoenix, like they should have never left their Phoenix, I don't think. Like, I don't
to the
know.
base the hard way. Benji is gonna fall as well. Renegades might.
I am agreeing with this contract. I relinquished part
Is
of
this
my
a
freedom
smoking commercial?
to you.
There's
Yep.
a contract in every cigarette. When you light up, you sign up. Don't let tobacco control you.
Yeah, they just shouldn't have chased outside Phoenix. I mean, that's hard to make. That's hard to make that call in game, right? Because like, it looked really good. I was put to half, but the same situation, like Adapting is just leading the way with Thor in front of his team.
A lost SOT, but Radiance get a bit ahead of themselves trying to press
Yeah,
outside
I mean,
of the
Finch
actual
does it.
Phoenix, and Renegades with 4 can still threaten.
This is what a 12k lead plus Fire Giant buys you. I mean, it buys you a couple of mistakes. It buys you losing
I
control
I think I called a
and
space
getting
there. Did I
zoned
call a
and taking
space
too
there? I don't
much
know if I
damage on your
did.
way out, because you can just reset and do this.
Oh, but you don't want
Oh, this is
to
where
loss
it gets
of
kind of
Jake. Good work
sketch.
with the strife to lock him
I
down.
thought,
They
I
defend.
think
The
we
right
maybe
side
could have
Phoenix
got
is still
that
standing.
if we
is
played it a
something
little
to
bit
see.
better.
They're able to keep that up, and Radiance, considering with a bounce, nope, it's not going to bounce just yet, and even with a little bit extra movement speed, not going to catch up. So that's good works, even still for Radiance to defend. They can't afford to lose anyone.
We have
else.
solo
Those
TP,
are
so we just
two
get this Phoenix for free.
And Solar Patrol is back and teleports in, so this is huge. Now this right side Phoenix is toast. Maybe not, actually. Aurora's ultimate comes up right on time. Should
Yeah,
still
Aurora
be
kind of
Phoenix
way
and
overextends
Aurora.
there.
That bot time for Adapting
He tried to
and
solo defend the
Benji
Phoenix,
spot.
basically, which is just
So they are now
sketch.
back. There will still be 4 members to defend, but they do finally lose that right side Phoenix. Renegades can now look to threaten the mid Phoenix, and there is no threat. They'll get locked in by the River's Rebuke. So Venenu goes up with the Taiko drums. He's
Yeah, me and Vin
waiting
just
for
combo adapting so well there.
with that ultimate. It's
Me and Vin had
awesome. Jake
really
gets
good
the kill. What a
synergy
call
in this
to have
set.
Venenu on a
I got a heal on
control.
speed
It's
buff
worked
here.
beautifully now.
Maybe I could have
Twice in a
stayed.
row. They're in position to threaten the mid
Maybe I
Phoenix.
stayed
That's
here.
been burned down as well.
I was like
Radiance
200
can't
HP.
quite defend that either. This is a great push from Renegades. A little bit
Yeah,
delayed, but they got
we played the initial siege
Man,
pretty
I mean,
bad,
Adapting's
in my
done
opinion, to let
much
Solo
better
die like
now
that.
in these last
Then we cleaned it up
fights
after
where he's
that.
been up.
We capitalized on their
We
misplay,
were
which was
asking for him
chasing.
to find priority targets in the back line. He's done that. It's just that joke number 1, it eats Venenu's beads. Well, Venenu had already beads, but Venenu's in the ultimate. He was focusing out the Raijin. Venenu's turn and burn with the Taiko drums were fantastic. That time, he doesn't go for the Raijin. He goes for the Jingwei. BaRRa's beads were up, so he's able to beads and dash away. And Adapting's doing a lot of damage with these dunks every time, but he's insta-dying every time. And again, that's what happens when you as a team just aren't effective until too late in the game.
Oh, they're being churn against me because my
Let
churn is
Renegades
amazing.
Get all this itemization in their corner. They're gonna blow you up whenever you start finally finding.
I have the best
those
Churnabog in the
good
game.
initiations.
And I don't want people to think that the call for Adapting to be aggressive. You know, you were asking.
Well, it's had to become pro and smite. There's so much information. Yeah, there's a lot you need to know.
The difference between bluffing
you need like
earlier on
thousands
in
of
the
hours
hand
in
or trying
Smite.
to wait until the end when everyone knows how good their pair actually is. You got to make sure that you're getting out there early.
Oh, so
to
we
try and slow some of this down.
we were just
Now it's
calling that they were
be
gonna
much
group and
harder
look for
for
picks
Captain
here.
Try and go to the back.
Because they like basically with like an 18,000 gold deficit, most teams group up and look for picks here and like try to catch someone like alone and then last for season and then we just call like all in them like Jake. Pretty sure Jake and Solo are spam calling to fight here. Yeah, so Solo's just holding W at them.
With it is Renegades have caught Radiance grouping up as 5 outside of their base.
Yeah, Jake just. Oh yeah, I remember Jake saying he had like a huge terrific here.
Stuns Big Man Ting on the right-hand side, gets the beads out from him, so they...
Yeah, I was watching Adapting in the air that entire time there.
Adapting dunks, but BaRRa responds with the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, we just played this team fight so much better than them.
As well, into the Tycho drum.
Also, it's pretty easy to play a team fight better than someone when you're 18,000 gold up, but we played that really well.
I don't think Fire Giant really matters.
Love a shake. Oh, Dead Pie, thanks for the prime sub, baby. Thanks, man.
I think they could have just walked up and ended. They decided to go for Fire, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I mean, no beads for BaRRa, but what are you scared of there? I mean, just no ultimates available.
Wait, and what's Inbound's question?
I know that this is still...
My mid laner supposed to kill? Why does your mid laner have no kills?
Very, very likely.
But why not?
Honestly, good question.
Why wait?
I think
hard
Ben
to
just...
do anything wrong when you're in this dominant of
No,
a
actually,
position,
no, I'm done roasting Ben. I roasted Ben about his ults in a troll way, and now everyone makes fun of Ben about not securing objectives, so I'm done roasting Ben.
Go right now before Benji and Adapting are back up, and they are going to move right into Titan. It's down to half HP.
I really
wanted
to kill Aurora there.
Barrel in and take game 2.
I really wanted to kill Aurora. It was so hard for me not to kill Aurora.
Never really felt like it was in doubt, right? I mean, Renegades were in control early.
I actually feel bad for making jokes about Ben securing objectives, because now everyone just roasts him about it.
It out during the cast.
Wait, well, let me see the highlights. Let me see these.
Still won their lane against Aurora and Cyclone Spin. They found these early kills. They found all sorts
I wasn't actually doing much player damage,
opening up objectives.
but I did 8,000 structure damage.
I really do have to point it out. Cyclone Spin has been very hesitant to use his relics today. Beads,
look at that.
Not at all. Aegis
Beautiful.
Questionable times. Aggro pointed out during the cast. Maybe it's a little bit of a pre-game jitters. Maybe he's just a
Watch when
little
wins conceded much.
was going. But
yeah, that's not the right word, Chief.
Who thought we'd be here?
I love that little play that we saw between Lazarus and Adapting.
Also, I watched the first game of the set. Also, I was going to watch back the PK set, but there's actually no reason to watch back the PK set. It would literally just be me like saying, yeah, I'm under tower here.
Really good up in your face frontliners for any team he's ever been on.
Yeah, you can see me giving up my purple buff for the 13th time here, and yeah, there it goes. Yep, that's the 14th time.
You know, you see them diving on